All right. According to the cloud here. Good morning, everybody. How you doing this morning? Welcome, everybody, to the Morning Misfit Call. This is episode 375. Can you believe it? Episode 375. My name is Sean Murphy, along with a band of misfits. How you doing this morning? Together we, oh, wait a second. I got to mute that over here. Welcome, everybody, to the Morning Misfit Call. And there we go, mute. So I hope everybody's doing great this morning. It is Monday, the first week of March. Hopefully in your business, February finished up. It was one of the better Februarys.
There's water back there.
And put that on mute there. We got that covered. So I hope February finished up one of your strongest months ever. If not, here's the good news about sales is that you can make March your best month ever. So all that being said, we had a pretty good weekend conversations. And then yesterday we had Mr. Bob Parks walk us through some little dialogue from some different experts in the industry and people who've had some books out, and he used some of his experience and adapted it and adopted it to some of our conversations that we've been having here. Pretty amazing conversation. I appreciate him for taking the time to do that. If you're new to the call, drop an N in the chat. That would be great. We would love to have you say hello, and we want to welcome you to this community. You got invited to this community by somebody who's just a little off center. They're a misfit. They don't quite fit in out there, but they fit in here. And it's where we have conversations here each and every morning, Monday through Sunday. We wake up, we decide to have this little conversation. Diane Sweeney's got an N there. So new, welcome Diane to the call. Great to have you here. Blessings. Appreciate you taking some time out this morning to find out what this community is all about. Hopefully we'll bring you value, and yeah, we'll go from there. So all that being said, one of the other things that we do is send out 3 messages. And when I say send out 3 messages, those of you that have been on here before know that we want to make some space for some goodness to come into us. We want to make some space to have some joy show up in our life. So we send out some joy. It's just that simple. It's really not that difficult. When you send stuff out, you give space for more stuff to come in. So go ahead and send out your 3 messages, whether it be gratitude or hello, I love you, I was thinking of you, you make me smile, you make me giggle. Whether it be people on your team, people in your family, close friends you haven't talked to in a while, somebody you said you were going to follow up with them. Today could be the day. One of the things that's hard to get me on a calendar, it really is hard to get me on a calendar, like more than today, because my life is quite flexible, quite in flux. And my goal is very simple: to be present, to be able to bring more value to more people. So there could be calls that there's a lot of times there's things that are on the schedule that maybe are urgent, but they're not important. So it's just, it's hard to get me nailed down to a date more than 48 hours out. It really is. Now I do have an event that I'm going to be going to in Costa Rica here in the next couple of days, because we're having a national convention down there, our first international convention. So that kind of gets on, that's important and urgent. So that gets on the schedule. But as far as these little meetings and events, it's usually always in the moment. So I appreciate everybody. Congratulations, Ralph. Thanks for getting that out, sending that out. Question for you this morning. What's going to make March your best March ever? What talent or skill do you know? What talent or skill do you know you need to make this your best month ever? That could be on a personal level, all 6 areas, right? Family, finance, body, mind, society, finances, and health, or spiritual. What talent or skill would you need this month, starting right now? Would you need this month to help you get better, to help you be able to have more, do more, be more? if you know that there's a skill that you need to develop like real quick that would help you turn your business around, change your income. Doesn't always have to be money, right? My company is called Mental Profits. Your thoughts create your income. And income doesn't always have to be money. It's whatever flows into your life, whether that be relationship or income or leadership or what are some of those talents that you're looking that you need to develop this month that you want to have some help with, and possibly maybe opening up a couple of skill buckets for you and take the lid off of them. So if you want to have one of the things we do, if you have a question or you have a comment you want to make, or go ahead and raise your hand. This way here we can follow a little bit of decorum and protocol, and we'll just go through that process. So yeah, if there's a skill or talent that you say, well, if I could get better at fill in the blank, let's talk about that. And we'll see if I can't use my 30 plus years experience and all of the amazing souls that are on here to give some feedback to you to help guide you so that you can get into the the IPA, income producing activities today. And there's Brittany. Good morning, Brittany.
Hey, I'm like driving right now, but
Okay.
I did want to, I think since like being on these calls, it's really helped me to value, appreciate, and be grateful for people and the relationships that I'm able to build with other people. Something that I can improve to bring me more income, more joy, more fulfillment would be to maintain those relationships, like to keep the connection, even if we're far apart in distance, or like I'm not one of those type of people who feel like you have to talk every single day to stay connected.
Right.
So I guess like being energetically or connected with someone mentally, just maintaining that connection. Like maybe you could help me with that. Well, I know you can.
So a couple of things. One of the things that's going to make that relationship last longer is to have a deeper connection. And when I say deeper, if I were to ask any of you, how many of you remember your preschool teachers or your elementary school teachers? If any of you remember your elementary school teachers, drop an E in the chat, right? Whether it be kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. So most of you can remember your elementary school teacher. And when I say a deeper connection, a lot of times we barely know things about the people on our team. And we barely find the things that connect us to them to have an old story. So one of the things that I'll do is have an older story, whether it be about their grandparents, whether it be about something, but there's something that you and I, Brittany, both have an experience that we can go, God, I remember that, right? Because if you went to second grade, so did I. That gives us a memory. So I would find something that's a little bit older than the surface conversations that most people have. Grade school, kindergarten, sports, somewhere there's a connection where you want people to say, they're just like me, right? I'm just like them. They're just like me. And then the second thing is you may not have to communicate every day, but you may want to send a message once a week that says, hey, I was just thinking of you. Thanks for letting me brag on you. And all of a sudden, there's this whole conversation that can ensue just from a simple word, right? If having spent a lot of time in the car with Rhonda, bless us, Father. So there's a word, there's a word that we could say that pretty much sums up 40 hours of car time. Good. It was good, right? Do you want to stop? Nope, let's keep going. All of that just brings back a whole 100-hour trip, 200-hour trip, right? All of these little things, what are those trigger words? What are those words that you can both latch onto, those emotions that you can both latch onto that are that spin through time and space without ever losing any of its energy, right? So there's all of these conversations that you can have. There's all of these little triggers that you can have with people that tell a whole story, right? If you've ever eaten, how many of us have a dessert that if we eat it, it brings back great memories, right? Or something we smell, right? Whether it be a meal that's cooking, right? And it takes us back to our childhood. It's things like that. How do you trigger bigger emotions with smaller little triggers? So I'd work on that. That would be one of the things that allows you to have this deeper connection. Does that help, Brittany?
It does. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So good morning, everybody. What we're doing this morning is I want to help you in your sales this month. I want to help you in your business this month. What skill or talent do you think if you could develop, if you could work on here in the next 24 hours, 72 hours, that would turn your business into a success machine for you? Because here's the thing. This can be your biggest March ever. This can be your best month ever in all of your business, right? So Brianna, a better, more consistent leader. So I would ask you, because here's the thing, any question that any of you will ask me right now, you know the next step. You know the first step to do it. That's the only way any of this works. So you know that you want to be a more consistent leader. Decide what a consistent leader does. Is that daily work? Is that weekly follow-up? Is that setting some goals with some other people? Because a leader means you're going to be working with people. Otherwise, you're out for a walk. Then it's just how do you become more consistent? But to become a consistent leader, what do leaders do? And then decide what area can you help your team in. There may be some talents or skills. Here's one of the things that I have a kind of a unique advantage of is when people join me in business, when people get on my team, when I personally enroll people, I'm not necessarily all that smart about the business. I'm really not. But what I am smart about is life and helping people. So there may be a skill or talent. I think it was Emerson said, there's a skill or talent you do so well, people wish they could do it half as well. Maybe you love to bake. I don't know. I'm using this as an example. Maybe you love to bake, or you make a paella. I'm thinking back to my Puerto Rican days, and you make this amazing paella, and you know how it takes a day to make it or a half a day to make it, or you make amarillos better than anybody else. There's a skill or talent people are wishing they could do that you have that comes natural to you that people would love to be around. Right? Tammy Mitchell, a dear friend of mine, says, your vibe creates your tribe. What's the vibe that you have? What's the vibe that you live with? I don't live MLM, network marketing, me loving more. I live me loving more, but I don't live network marketing. I live life my way. I live life like Sean G. Murphy, and I have fun doing it. And people are like, what do you do? I get paid to have fun. What do you do? How do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask? So how to become a more consistent leader? Write down the steps that you think you as a leader need to get better at. And then ask yourself the question. See, all too often, the best way out of any problem that we're in is to go in. The best way out of any situation is to go inside, because you already have the answers. You have the answers to get out of the mess that you're currently in. And the answer might be to call somebody. The answer might be to hire somebody. The answer might be to go do some activity that you're not used to doing. You've got the initial step. You've got the first step to get out of the mess you're in right now. You know what it is. So, so create a list. come up with that list. And then if on that list, there's certain skills or talents that you need to learn how to acquire, or where you need to go find those talents, then maybe I can give you some more guidance on. But first of all, create the criteria, the recipe for what you believe a more consistent leader is. The word consistent just tells me do it more regularly. Have a why that's bigger than a how. Prospecting, or do I share with everyone? Well, so prospecting, or do I share with everyone? Some of you have been on my calls long enough. What's your number one product? There's a couple of different companies on here. There's probably 4 or 5 different companies that are on here right now. I'm not in any of yours. There's probably only a couple of people on here who are in my company. Everybody else, you're all in different companies. You're all in different channels of our profession. Here's how you're going to make this real easy. When you grasp this idea, your number one product, your flagship product, is not your number one product. The thing that the company does all of the marketing on, the thing that has built your organization, the thing that has built your company, is not your number one product. It's your flagship product, but it's not your number one product. And if you can wrap your arms around this, if it's okay for you to Dr. Wayne Dyer this, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. If you can take a step back, if you can set your ego on the shelf for just a second and realize that your number one product is not your number one product. Your company's number one product is a solution, period. The challenge is we try to fit this square hand strengthener thing. We try to fit this square circle. This round circle in a square hole. Here's my number one product. Take it. You need to use this. This is yours. Use it. And it just, if this is your flagship product, all it is a solution. It means nothing to the person who's about to get started with it. Absolutely nothing. They can't understand it. They don't know the ingredients. They don't understand the technology. They've heard about it. They've got to go through a learning curve. The problem with most people who go to prospect, they get people in and they leave within 30 days, is that they sold them their number one product. They didn't sell them a solution. They did not sell a solution. My daddy said, be a professional salesman. Listen. The 40 of you that are on here, y'all are in sales. I don't care if you're in this profession or not of network marketing. I don't care if you're in this profession of the shared economy, MLM, me loving more, mentors leading mentors, making lasting money. You figure out what it means to you. But the reason that your people leave is they don't see you have the solution. So how do you make your flagship product a solution? Find out what it is they need and then show them how this can fit into their life. I can show every one of you, I can show just about anybody at any place in life how my business is the absolute best solution for them. It's simple. It's easy to do. Why? Because to find out what their pain is, nobody really finds out what their pain is. Nobody has the courage to find out their pain. Nobody can step into their pain. What happens is you wind up having a pain competition. Oh, well, you think that's bad. You should see how I started. And then all of a sudden you're in competition with your prospect. And you do this at a subconscious level. You do this without even knowing it. It's how you can walk. And listen, I know this because I've done it. I've done it. When you sit across from a prospect and you walk away and you go, this would be so good for them. How come they didn't get it? It's not their fault. It's your fault. That'd be like me saying, I put my kid in the car. He's 5 years old. How come he couldn't drive to the store and get me beer? Well, a 5-year-old can't do that. Well, neither can your prospect. when you're running them over and gunning them down with technology and words and verbiage and nomenclature and comp plans, and you gave them 700 things to learn. You know what they forgot? Why they sat down with you. So let's see here. So prospecting, find out what their problem is. And nobody wants to admit they have a problem, Shami. So find out what's the solution they're looking for. I'll sit down with a prospect and I say, hey, listen, first of all, I find out why they're there, right? We can do a prospecting interview process. Mine's kind of different than most because it's not script based. It's not anything based. It's all about putting them in complete control, but having questions that I ask that keep them in the guidelines, keep them on the highway that we're both walking on. So find out what their situation is. So I would say something like, hey, Shami, tell me there's something that you need to get done in the next 7 days. The next 7 days, the next 14 days, there's something that's pretty important for you to accomplish in the next 7 to 14 days. What's that thing that's keeping you up at night? What's that thing you wish you either had more of or you wanted to get off your plate? What's that thing that's important to you? And they'll say what that is. Awesome. So as we sit here right now, because that sounds like that's pretty important, you probably don't need to waste another 20 minutes listening to me. Do you have a plan right now that if we ended this conversation right now, you could go implement right now? What do you think the answer most people are going to say? They came to you for a plan. They came to you for a method. They came to you for some help out. So if we ended this conversation right now, do you have a current plan in place that you could go implement? Because what you just shared with me is pretty important. And I want to see you get that done. So if you have a plan that's already sitting in place, that's laying in wait for you to take action on, we can end this conversation right now and you could go implement it. Do you have that plan? No, I don't. Do you want a plan? Do you want to play? Yes, I do. Great. Do you know what it even would look like? No. So if we have a conversation and we talk about something you've never heard about before and something you've never done before, would it be fair to say that that might be the plan? Because if it's everything that you already know about it, if it's everything you've already done, wouldn't that be fair to say you're going to get results you've already had? Great. So let's talk about some things you wouldn't do in life. What are some things you just absolutely would not do? Well, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. So if we have a conversation that's about anything other than that, you're not sure what it is, would it be fair to say then you need to feel that I have enough, that you have enough confidence in me to help you do this new plan, this new thing? So I got to ask you, are you coachable? Great. So you're coachable. You're willing to do some things you haven't done before that are within your realm of security and safety that you feel confident about. And are you willing to implement them today? Or are you somebody that likes to go and learn about stuff and figure things out and you want to try to come up with your own plan? Are you coachable and able to follow a plan that if we laid it out right now, you could start this afternoon? Because I got to know that situation you told me about, how fast do you want to solve that situation? Cool. So if we could begin that like in the next hour, would that be good? If we could begin that while we're even sitting here at the table, would that be good? That you could actually see you have a plan in place? Awesome. Now, anytime you've tried to plan a new plan in the past, how many times has that worked for you? How many times have you tried a new plan and it worked perfectly the first time? Yeah, me too. So would it be okay for you to go through a learning process to put this plan in place that has allowed me to have success, and hopefully I can transition that success to you and to your family? Awesome. What is it costing you to not have this solution in place right now? Is it costing you sleep? Is it costing you health? Is it costing you money? Cool. If that story goes away, are you okay with that story going away? Because that may be a story you've had for the last 10 years and you really like that story of some discomfort and a little suffering and a little people people look at you and they go, oh, poor you. No, so, okay. It's okay if the old story goes away. What's the new story 14 days from now when it's gone? When you've jumped over this hurdle, when you've reached over this hurdle, when you've gotten better at this thing that you've been struggling with for the last, I don't know how long, 6 months. Here's the next question. Is it okay if you're part of a team? When's the last time you were on a winning team? Some people got to go back to grade school. Some people got to go back to t-ball, to high school basketball, softball, bowling, the chess club. Awesome. So it's been 10 years since you've been on a winning team, 20 years since you've been on a winning team. Would you know what it looked like? Do you think teams, the essence of a team is the same, but do you think teams may look differently in today's business world? And since you haven't been on one in a long time, you might not even recognize it, would you? Would it be okay if I introduced you to some of the people on my team, some of the people that hold me accountable, the people that I hold accountable, the people that we work together with to help us have more, do more, be more, all by doing less? Awesome. So if we came up with a situation like that and a plan like that, you were able to implement it today, you were able to start your productivity right now so that you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt when you put your head on the pillow tonight that you would absolutely have a plan in place that's going to make this thing go away in the next 7 days. What would you pay for that? I'm not saying you got the money. I'm asking you, what would that be worth to you and to your family? Awesome. So if it was that much, you'd get started right now. If it was a proven, absolutely guaranteed plan. Yeah, because here's where the guarantee is. It's in your hand. This has worked for thousands of people around the world. It's worked for thousands of people in my organization. Let me ask you this. Is it okay if you win? Great. We should get started then. I don't know. Does that make any sense at all?
Yes. Yes, that sounds awesome.
Now, can you do it as good as I can? Probably not the first time. But guess what? Those people who are part of my organization, guess what they get to do? They get to use me. And that's how they get to learn. You get to practice this. You can practice this 1,000 times on your own. Absolutely. The good news is I've been doing it for 30 years, 22 years in this profession. This is not about me. It's about you being able to take advantage of your scenario, of your situation right now, and use the driving force that moves you into action quicker, better, faster than anything I could ever tell you. But most times our presentations, the conversations we have with people aren't allowing them to use their own capability and their own capacity. Everybody gets stuck. Everybody gets lost in the processes because they feel they have to learn something new. They got to be as good as you to get things done. What if they were just as good as them to get started? Wouldn't that make a difference? If they were just as good as them to get started in their world, and then you kind of checked them in and made sure you were the safety rails in the bowling alley to keep them from going in the gutter. So let's see what else was up here. I tried a few times, but the responses weren't as quick. Yeah, again, remember, I've done this in 34 countries. I've been translated I've done presentations and trainings in 40 plus different languages. Here's the thing I know, no matter where you go around the world, people are still people. Whether it be in Serbia, whether it be in Macedonia, whether it be in Portugal or Norway, there's cultural differences. There's ways you approach things. In Finland, you're a lot tougher with the Finnish than you are with the Portuguese. Your conversations are different in in Puerto Rico than they are in Mexico. But that's a cultural thing. You know what everybody still wants? Their heart breaks when they can't take care of their family. They feel let down when they don't take care of themselves. That doesn't change no matter what part of the planet you step on. I'm in masterminds with, you add up the total success of the room. When I sit in a room, there's 45 people in the room. It's a few $1 billion of success sitting in that room. Not company sales, of personal success. Everybody's the same. Every dad wants their kids to have more. Every mom wants to be able to do more. Every dad wants to be a good husband. And if they're on their second or third one, they've got some issues and they're just wanting to be better human beings. Doesn't matter if they just they just sold a business and they put 400 million in their pocket. You know what everybody's trying to figure out? How do I make the world a better place? How do I take care of my family? How do I leave a legacy? What happens when you start to have legacy conversations? Listen, I can promise you this. Your business will change. Your business will change. Your business model may change. Your company may change. They've already made changes. I promise you, if you've been in with your company a year, they've made changes already to something, to the comp plan, to this, to that. You know what'll never change? Your desire to help people leave a legacy. That's the reality. Can you get good at having that conversation? Yeah, Italy. I love it. I love landing in Roma at the airport. They have the best sandwiches at the airport. And I know it's airport food. And when you get out into the country, it's even better. But when I would land, the first thing I would go get is just get this ham sandwich. It's just amazing. But that's Italy, right? Get an espresso. Oh, food in Italy. Donald Sutherford, or Sanford. Donald, good morning. You have a question?
Yes, sir, man. When we first started, I was on the bus, so I really couldn't talk. But you were talking about saying 3 things that we need to change in our business, right?
Yep. Well, is there anything that you could change or want to change in your business that you could make this your best March ever?
I made that change 3 days ago. I bought a ticket to New York,
Okay.
and there's a meeting for my company, iMarkets Live, out there. And I ain't never been out of Texas like that. I mean, I've been to like Oklahoma or Louisiana, but that's still Texas to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I'm going out to New York, and I'm still like a customer. I ain't made no sales within my business. I'm still learning from my mentors and making calls and like that. But I feel like when
How long have you been in the business?
This my 3rd month, but I've been in since December.
Okay, so let me ask you this. In 3 months, right? You've been in since December. So let's just go last month. Did you want to make sales last month?
Yeah, I did want to make sales. I made a lot of calls on my warm market.
Okay, so I'm not going to be a mean guy here, but I want you to be very clear, Donald, on your future. Who's responsible for your future?
Nobody but me.
Exactly. So do you understand the definition of a mentor?
Not a clear definition. Like,
so let me give you 3 clear definitions. Let me give you 3 clear definitions, and then you decide whether or not the people that you call mentor are really a mentor. They could be your upline. They want to help you, everything else, but I need you to be very clear, because you're going to start to give a lot of you. I need you to all listen to this. Mentors are going to start getting a bad name because they're not performing. Let me explain to you. There's 3 people that you need to hang out with. The first one is a teacher. A teacher is somebody that'll teach you things you didn't know you could do. It's that's what they're called in school, right? We didn't know our ABCs, and they teach that to us. They teach us what it is to do an ABC. They teach us about grammar. I never really did well in grammar, but they teach us all of those things. That's what a teacher does. What you didn't know that you need to know, that's a teacher. A coach is somebody who you want to go play baseball. The school has hired a coach and he's supposedly good at baseball and he teaches you what you need to do. He coaches you in the fundamentals of that particular sport or skill or instrument or whatever, right? An instructor, a coach. So that's a teacher, teaches you what you need to learn to survive, to fit into the world. A coach is you say, I want to learn how to do that better. And they take you and they specifically identify some unique talents and they coach you how to become better at that sport or instrument or talent or skill. Does that make sense so far?
Yes, sir.
The people that enrolled you, these people that you call mentors, have they sponsored anyone?
Have they
enrolled anybody? Have they enrolled anybody in their business
besides me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here's the definition of a mentor. They allow you to walk away with their wisdom. A mentor will teach you how to do things you didn't know you could do. In November last year, you didn't know about your business. In December, you got started. In January, you decided to do stuff. In February, you wanted to enroll people. You didn't enroll anybody. So I'm guessing you didn't learn how to enroll people. I want you to be very clear. So they may be coaches, they may be business partners, but I'm going to find it very difficult for them to be called mentors. It's easy to say you have a mentor, but when I look at your success, you don't have a mentor. You'd have had people enrolled.
Okay, makes sense.
And the only reason I say that is because you're going to see a mentor, you're going to run into a mentor, you're going to find a mentor, and you're not going to know that they're a mentor. Because your comparison is to people who the last month didn't let you enroll anybody. I'm not trying to be tough on you, but
I got an open mind right now.
I know you do, but you're putting your effort into a business model that needs to show some return. Yes. And if you're going to do that, then by goodness, somebody needs to be there to make sure you get some success, because you don't want this to be June and going, well, I'm going to one more event now in Tennessee and this should be the one.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question for you. Some of y'all are going like, whoa, wait a second. What Sean is this? This is the Sean that's been 22 years in this profession. This is the one when, listen, I'm treating you as if you're mine. As if you're in my organization. You're not. This is the one that, listen, I've been around. This is how my team shows up. And when we have conversations at 2:00 in the morning, sometimes is when I do my team calls. You are going to be successful. If you show up in my stockade and in my barn, my posse, yeah, there ain't no, because it's very simple what we do. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. When's the trip you go to New York?
I leave on the 12th and I'm out there until the 18th.
Awesome. So I need you to come up with a list of 15 things that you need to learn, 15 ideas, concepts, techniques, talents, 15 things that you need to put in your pocket before you head back to Dallas or before you head back to Fort Worth.
So I need to learn 15 things?
Yeah, what 15 things? See, here's the challenge. We go to these events, and how many of you are about to go to an event? Some of you are getting ready to go to an event somewhere, somehow, someplace. And we go and we show up with an empty bucket. And people put stuff in our bucket, and they put all this stuff in our bucket. And the problem is we don't know what the hell they put in our bucket, because we don't even know what we were looking for to get put in our bucket. So I'm going to ask you to create a list of, when my people go to events, they got to have their list of 3. They'll go to a 3-day convention, a 2-day convention, a 4-hour meeting. Everybody's got to go, and they got to go with 3 things they need to get better at, whether they need to learn, adapt, adopt. What 3 things do you need to get to the next rank? Because in our business model, in your business model, rank means income. So it's not about the rank, but it's about what do you think you need to go build your business, to have more people in your organization, to have more people retain, stay in your organization, so you don't have to keep bring them in the front and they run out the back. Bring them in the front, they run out the back. What 15 things, you're going to be up there quite a few days. What 15 things do you need to grow your business? Because the reticular activating system says what you're looking for, you'll find. And if you go up there not knowing what to look for, you'll find anything. So I'd create a list of what 15 things do you really need to grow your business, whether it be language or skill sets or ability, listening skills, or would it be, and then when you go up there, guess what you're going to find? Those 15 things, and
Those
check them
15
off as you
things.
find them. And as soon as you find them, then guess what you get to do? As soon as you find them, as soon as you have them, you get to implement them. Now the onus is on you. And you may not know what to look for. So I would be calling some of your mentors, some of your leaders, and say, what things do I need to pick up? When I show up in New York, what things do I need to pick up? What are the skills or talents based upon the presenters that I'm going to hear? What talents do I need to pick up from them? What do I need to be looking for? Folks, this is the challenge that people have when they come to us as a cold prospect, as somebody that's looking to have more, do more, be more. We've got people inside of organizations that don't even know what to look for when they go to an event. They just show up at the event. I'm at the event, fix me. You got to fix you. And if you don't know what, I see Leo goes, I love this. Awesome. So Leo shows up and somebody comes to me for dancing. I doubt anybody's ever showed up at Leo's door with some money in their hand and said, can you teach me drums? What? Yeah, drums. No, I can't. I have a buddy of mine who's a musician who probably teach you drums. Yeah, but they said you were the best at dancing. Well, can you teach me the waltz? I could, but that's not my specialty. My specialty is Latin dance. Oh, you do. Oh, so it's one of those things. Could you imagine somebody going to Leo going, oh, it's one of those things? One of what things? Well, Latin dance, that's one of those things, right? Where everybody gets rich at the top. You get rich. I give you my money. I learn to dance, and then you keep all my money. Yeah. That's called a business model. Yeah, I don't want that. That's stupid. I don't know why you do that. I don't know why anybody's here to learn to dance. I want to learn drums. Yeah, the pyramid scheme of salsa. Y'all see how crazy some of this stuff is? Y'all don't do it in the real world, but you come into this business model called network marketing. That's all that is a compensation nomenclature. That is not the business we're in. We're in the shared economy. We're in helping people have more, do more, be more. But you get into this business model and y'all lose your mind. Y'all just become goofy. You'd never do this if you were at a job or you were paying somebody to teach you or train you. You'd never use this language, and you'd never put up with this language. Somebody comes up to you, it's a pyramid scheme. You're right. Next. Why do you feel you have to convince people? If I'm showing up at Leo's dance studio and going, I want to play trumpet, probably, no, you're in the wrong room. It's over there. You guys spend so much energy trying to fight with people and convince them, right? A man convinced against his will is of the same mindset still. You're not, listen, there was only one savior that I'm aware of. Let him do his job. You're not the savior. The problem is we don't have enough people to talk to. We don't have enough people in our funnel of love. We haven't been sending out enough messages, right? These morning messages. If some of you have been doing that, some of you have been having people come back and possibly even join your business. What do? You send me a message every morning. What do you do? What gets you started that morning? Because here's what we're looking for. The only thing we're looking for, and And this is information from 1972. Yeah, some of you are gonna have to go back to your history books. From 1970, it's we're looking for dissatisfied people. That's all we're looking for, is people who have some dissatisfaction. They ain't happy with something in their life right now. You may have talked to them 4 years ago. They were totally happy. But you know what? At some point in their life, listen, have any of you all ever been dissatisfied? And that's the life cycle. That's just what happens with people. So, Donald, get your list together of things you want when you get to your business, meeting up in New York, have some conversations, find out. I'd be having some phone calls. Who can you sit down and do a half-hour one-on-one with when you get up there? What are the leaders you need to hang out with? What are the leaders you need to avoid that aren't your style? And that's what you need to ask the people who have enrolled you. If they're not going to be there, but if they are going to be there, who do you need to meet? Who do you need to get on your phone that you can have a conversation with in a regular business? Who do you need to be able to have a conversation with so that you can ask them for questions on a regular basis? Because the people that have helped you, the people that got you started, the people that are your sponsors, if you wanted to enroll people last month and you didn't, you got to ask a question. I'll let you figure out the answer.
I hear you 100%.
I mean, it's your life.
Yeah.
You going to be waiting on me to get you started? No, you get yourself
No.
started. Then once you get started, I can start guiding you.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't guide
I got it all written down. It's up to me to take action, you know?
Absolutely. I'd be making phone calls today.
Yes,
Because
sir.
here's the thing. How many people could you bring to that event with you? What?
Off top, somebody already asked to go with me, low key.
Okay. So here's the other thing. Do you know anybody in New York? Where's the event at? Is it in New York?
Yeah, the event's in New York. I haven't even got my ticket to the event. I just bought my ticket to New York. I'm gonna get that this week.
Okay. But here's my question. So that's on the 15th or whatever. That's somewhere mid-March. Don't don't start to grow your business till mid-March, because then you're going to wait till you come back. And now all of a sudden it's the 20th and you're back and March is over and you've done nothing again. Start building your business today. Say, hey, listen, I just got this thing. I'm going to New York to learn how to build my business stronger. You want to go with me?
Cool.
And I would just start asking people. So now all of a sudden, what would happen if you brought 2 people with you to New York? You think your business would explode when you got back? Do you think maybe, what if you brought 2 and they each brought 1, and all of a sudden there's 6 or 7 of you going to the event and everybody's excited? Don't wait till the meeting to get into your business. You're in business now. Call your upline, call whoever it is that enrolled you and said, I want to bring 2 people with me. Teach me how to bring 2 people with me to the event. And if they don't know the answer, find somebody that does. Because whoever knows that answer would love to talk to you. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense.
Okay, good. My daddy said, if it makes sense, it'll make dollars. Let's see here. Okay, I don't see any other questions. RBP, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm enjoying all this. You know, you can't hear this enough. You can't hear it. There's just not a set number of times you can hear it enough. And I'm over here taking all kinds of crazy notes. And I'm watching the comments too. And we throw around the word mentor really way too loosely. And thank you, Sean, for being who you are. Thank you for requiring nothing from us and still speaking into us and loving on us, but then holding us accountable the way we need to be held accountable. And I think we're all open to you more because of that, because of the sincerity, because of you just being you and honestly wanting to help. Y'all, if y'all don't know, I work with Sean. I am on Sean's team, and what he tells me is the same thing he tells y'all. It's the same thing. There's no like magic sauce. The only thing different might be that he takes more time to get to know me because I won't leave him alone, and I kind of quietly stalk him, and now I know where he lives. And he can speak a little more I don't know. I don't want to say harsh. How do you say it? Strong to my thick-headedness.
Well, it's to cut through the BS, to cut through the old stories that were there, because you ain't got time, and everybody wants their story to be heard and told. When you do it in love, it's a whole different conversation. So,
well, and you've said some things today about, I needed to hear from the Gig Summit again about everyone's dissatisfied about something. Everybody's looking for a solution to something. And that was another good thing. I had a lady walk up to me at church yesterday, and about 2 weeks ago, she had walked up and asked questions about my side gig, our side gig. And a lady had referred her to me. So I was just going to be kind enough to let that lady, have the moment. And she walked up to me yesterday, and I guess it's a testament to me, but then it's also a shame on you, because she walked up to me and she was asking me, she goes, do you know that stuff you're telling me about? Have you read about that? And blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, and we went through that conversation. She goes, well, and listen to this. She goes, well, if I'm going to come talk to somebody, I want to hear from them. I don't want to hear from somebody else. I don't, it's them. And she kept pointing to me. It's them I want to hear from. So what did that tell me? People only do business with the people they know, like, and trust. She didn't trust the other lady. Apparently she didn't know her very well. And she knew me, trusted me, liked me. So she sat in church, not in church, but in the foyer area, just asking me 967 questions. So that checked me really good on two things. Okay, I'm pretty good at making contacts and relationships and loving on people and making friends. That's one of my God-given strengths, and I love to do that. I'm not real good at helping other people learn how to do that, apparently. Or the other lady she talked to, she wouldn't have had those things to say about her. And it could be a personality thing too. Mm-hmm. The lady's very forward, very in your face. She lives in a world full of a bunch of stupid people. And do you know what all those stupid people said on the internet about this? And I'm like, okay, well, you're my kind of woman. Let me help you, because we can look at the world together through that lens, and then I can help you get out of that lens. So that whole thing of, I was sitting here thinking about her while y'all were all talking, and she kept going back to, but I've just got this stuff I got to get off my middle, and I just got to lose this right here, and I got to do this. She kept telling me what she's dissatisfied about. And I never once asked her. She just kept telling me. And I couldn't finish the conversation at church because I'm on the altar team and I had to go sign in and do all that. But now when we get off the phone and I get back in touch with her, y'all have reminded me as to what conversation I need to have with her. And it's funny because we do go out of our mind when we go, oh my gosh, we're building a network marketing business. Then we act retarded, like we can't speak or talk to people. And it's just, golly, I've done that so many times. And it's really just being us and staying focused in the conversation and asking the right questions for the conversation. And really did y'all hear my baby girl yawn just then?
Yeah. Like, who's got a baby?
They all looked over like, what in the world? And the thing to get good at is not selling your business or selling your product. The thing to get good at is, and this is what's hit me all weekend, is for me to look at the people that I am blessed to have crossed my path, whether they cut me off in traffic, cut in line at an event, or speak to me at church, is if I look at them the way Sean looks at us, which is there's value in every one of us. And if I look at them as they're part of my family, my whole approach is going to be totally different. And I'm going to see value and worth, and it's going to give me the right questions because I care about what they have to say and what they need and what they're dissatisfied with. And that whole mind shift has been going on in me this weekend like crazy. Every person I see, I got to calm the personality of, you know, are they smart or are they stupid? Yes, y'all, that is a dialogue that goes inside my head sometimes. I'm being totally honest with y'all, totally honest. I have to stop that dialogue and I have to remember who my maker is. And dear Jesus, please help me be kind to people. And then when I do that and I look at them as, you know, he made them like he made me. He loves them like he loves me. Why don't I love them like he loves them? And ever since doing that over this weekend, I've gotten a total different reaction from people. And they lean in and they want part of that. They don't even know what it is they want, but they want it. So sitting here listening to all this, in the feels, in the heart, what Sean just put into your head, the feeling you should have in your heart that goes along with this dialogue in your head is they're valuable. They are super valuable. Every person that walks through your path is valuable. Whether they have everything in life that you want or whether they're homeless and they have nothing, they are valuable. And when you see their value and you open up to what it is you can learn from them, you'll begin to see people in a total different light. And ironically, what will happen is your business will grow without you even realizing it's growing. So I'm just sitting here listening to all this, and sometimes we get stuck. If you're like me, you get stuck on, I got to have a plan. I got to have this, and then I got to say this question, and then I got to ask these questions. And if we don't go you know what? Make it your natural ability to be curious about who those people are. And is there something in your world that you can help them, that you have, that you could give them that could help them? And that gets you in the fields. Say again?
Holy, holy, Holy Spirit.
Yes, exactly. And y'all know he needs to visit me all the time. Y'all pray for the people that meet me. Sometimes I am a steamroller and he has to, what?
What? Did I thought I was muted.
Stop. Does that help anybody out there, or do I just need to say that out loud to be accountable? And I'm good with either question, either answer.
Yes, right.
Yeah, Travis. Yes. Christian's laughing. Christian and I have the same personality. So I get you, Christian. Yes, yes. Okay, it was great. Okay. Yes, yes. Some of what did Raymond said? Raymond, some of us are a piece of work. Understand that Jesus says we are a work in progress. Believe and enjoy that those are. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Well, for anybody that lives in a world full of stupid people, I'm your girl. We can talk and I can help you smooth off those edges, or we can just have a day where we end up trying to cut each other all day long. I don't know. Something like that can work. I know, Sean, we're working on it, but I love y'all. I love you, Sean. Thank you for coming into my life and helping me out so much.
You bet. It's funny. Facebook was sending us some of the memories, and it was there was a couple of videos of the first time that Rhonda and I engaged in dialogue sitting at the airport in Dallas. And the first thing, we're sitting there, we've said hello, we've done this, and I'm doing a live, and all of a sudden you'll see a hand come from Rhonda's position in the chair, and she's reaching, she's fixing my jacket, and she's doing all this. And it's like, oh wow, how cool. It's like, you're just this mess, let me fix you.
Well, you know, if I didn't do it, you know, Celia would have. So
yeah. So y'all did this make sense this morning? Because here's what I do now. We talk a lot about the personal development on here. We talk a lot about the esoteric, if that's even the right word. I just think it's a cool word to use. We talk about the spiritual side of this. There's a business where the nuts and bolts need to hit the road too. And that's real simple to do. The business side of this is real simple to do. It's easy to do. Have a conversation with people. And if you can't have a conversation with people, it's because your conversation doesn't really bring value, because you're trying to have a conversation as opposed to a dialogue, right? What did Covey say? Seek first to understand, then be understood. Some of you are trying to, nobody can frickin' understand you because they don't know what you're talking about. Because as you're talking about your problems of needing people in your business, they're hearing the problems of their life and they can't, I wish somebody would just help me, is all they're screaming. Why don't you go out there and help them? Why don't you go out there and see if they need a teacher? See if they need a coach. See if they need a teacher. See if they need a coach. And then find a mentor that can help them do something they didn't know they could do. If you all walk away with something here, if you all walk away with an idea from me, from Rhonda, from Donald, that makes us a mentor. You walk away with wisdom from our conversation, that makes us a mentor. But because somebody is your upline and they enrolled 5 minutes before you, please stop calling them a mentor, because you're making students of mentors look bad. I need you to win. I want you to win. That's why I do these calls. It's why Rhonda said, what I tell her is what I'm telling you all. Why would I tell you all the same thing I tell the people on my team to help build their business, to have success they've never had before? Because you get me an hour a day. Rhonda gets me a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I want to tell them too how real this is. When he tells you, when you join, when I joined him, first of all, I did it begrudgingly. And the only reason I did it is because I knew he was really a lot smarter than I was. That's the only reason I did it. Everything else he told me to do, I told him it was stupid. That's that word. It's that word. It keeps whirling around my head, y'all. Wow. Anyway, I was at least smart enough to follow him. And when he says, you get started and I'll help you, he means it. He is not going to babysit you or, give you every little bitty tiny step. He tells you get started, because he cannot drive a parked car. And he probably says that very differently to other people. He had to say it really, really like that to me because I'm thick in the head, but it's thinning out. The skull's thinning out a little bit. He's beat it down enough to where the information gets in there faster, but it's seriously get started. And then you can actually make changes and you can see which direction you're needing to go. There's no way Sean and I would have been able to drive to Vegas. Yes, drive to Vegas if we had just gotten in the car and just looked at each other. There would have been no way. We actually had to get in the car, God bless our little souls, and get on the road and start driving. And that's the only way we got to Vegas. So the only way you're going to have success in any area of your life, whether it's in this gig economy or anything else, any of your relationships, you've got to get started and you've got to have some movement. And it can't be, well, they got to start first. It can't be, well, I got to talk to somebody first. No, you go do it. Get off your butt and go do it. Get to moving and go do it. And as you go do it, then every one of us on this call and those in your life that are helping you, whether they're in the same business as you or not, but they love you, they will help guide you if you're coachable, if you're teachable, and if you can lay down those strong personalities or those docile personalities and get strong and make some changes. But just get started. Just get moving. So Sean he's telling y'all, I'm telling y'all, he's telling you everything he says to me. Well, he doesn't say everything he says to me, because some of it y'all don't want to put up with it, because I got to hear some crazy stuff. But as far as a business plan goes, everything he's saying to y'all is exactly how he handles us. And you must realize he has over 30,000 people in Latin America that do this with him. And he has to speak to them even a little differently with their personalities and their culture. So the man knows what he's doing. And I'm kind of doing a cheerleader moment for him. But seriously, everything he's saying to do it, but get started. Just like he told Donald, get moving, do something to where you can get past well, I started a few months ago and I haven't had any success yet. Go get some success. Even if it's saying I got on this call every stinking day and I'm getting better, but start moving. Does that make sense? Okay, Diane said it did. I'm going to agree with Diane. I like you, Diane. You agreed with me.
So here's the key, folks. Figure out the 3 things you need to do today, right? If you journaled yesterday and you've been following my methodology, what's the word? Method. Good Lord, I can't even think of the word.
Methodology.
Yeah, I knew there was a G in there. Methodology. It would have been, what did I do well today? What do I need to do better? What talent, skill, or contact do I need to come into my life? Those are the same questions that I ask myself every day. I'd encourage you to ask those of yourself every day. Here's the great news. Thanks, Christian. Methodology. Yep. Listen, if I know it, but I can't say it, doesn't stop me from trying it. So here's what I do know. You're an amazing soul. You listening to this right now, live, the recording, whoever it is, wherever it is, whatever time it is, whatever year it is, you're an amazing soul. The world needs you at your better. You're going to get to your best, but you won't know your best till you've slid into the grave. Then we can say that was their best. But the world needs you at your better. You need you at your better. I'd love to have you at your better because it gives me somebody to look forward to, somebody to look up to. I wish you all the best today. Oh, Angie's got her hand raised. Good morning, Angie.
Good morning, Sean. Good morning, everybody.
Club.
I was cold, but when you was talking about conversation, a question came up in my head, and how you said, like, if you can't have a conversation with the individuals you're talking to, and it made me think, if you can't do that, can you do that with you can't do it with yourself? So it started making me think even more on and now I'm thinking of all the conversations that I had with past individuals and why they said no. I thought about it. I thought about the conversations. I'm like, I see why it didn't work, because I didn't have that conversation with myself. So when I have it with somebody else, it's gonna be the same story all over and over again. And I just put everything 2 and 2 together, and I was just like, wow, I got my answer from what I need to fix in my business, because now I'm starting to learn more about, like, my language is really important. Even to the word, it has to be completely different. So I'm starting to become more aware of, like, look, your language is it's like the groundwork. How are you gonna say this or explain this, and how are you gonna explain it to yourself first and hear it yourself? And does that make sense? Will it make sense to somebody else? Will it impact somebody else? Will my words have an influence, whatever word you use or sentence? So thank you for that, because that's a huge aha right there for me, because I was thinking, like, yo, what's going on? Like, is my English not good enough? I was getting so scared, because sometimes my language is very hard to understand, because I use Spanglish, or I say a word that doesn't even sound like a word. So I was like, do I need to learn English more? And I do need to learn more English, but I was like starting to get so, like, annoyed at myself. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with me? Why can I not communicate? Like, I'm good at gravitating people and listening to them, but I guess when it comes to communicating, it's like, what's going on? But I have a clear view now, and I'm so happy. Like, I'm so grateful that I got this moment. So thank you.
So Angie, you can go back to using to your profession, right? When they administer drugs, there's this drug that has the exact same name, but sometimes it's 50 milligrams, sometimes it's 100 milligrams, sometimes it's 25 milligrams. That's called the essence of the drug, right? That's called the strength of the drug. What I hope you just got today when you say, I learned my words, you don't need to learn one more. You don't even need to. I've enrolled people with a smile. We don't need words. It's can you speak the pure love that you're doing? And when you speak love, it's because you're not worried about whether they do it or not. So I'm so proud of you that you got this, right? And this has been 100 hours of conversation, listening to this, just being a part of this. You've been on 100 calls.
Yeah.
Imagine all of a sudden it's like you just had this aha today. You know why? What would have happened had you not showed up today?
I don't know, like.
Yeah, but see, we never know, right? I think it was Hippocrates said, "Let thy food be thy medicine."
Mhm.
So, and now what you're doing is letting your words be your solution, understanding the energy. So I'm so proud of you because I can hear it in your voice. I can see it on your
Yes,
face.
I feel it, Sean. Like I feel warm. I don't know. If it's such a good feeling, like, oh, I just feel so good.
So I need everybody to sit quietly or not sit quietly, but just take a moment, pause for just a second. And when we talk about this business, the business isn't in you, and you're not in the business till the business is in you.
Mhm.
This is one of the things she just realized. She's always had the business, but the business is the business is building people.
Yes, and also have another question. So recently I started another venture with another business. So it's like financial literacy,
Okay.
just teaching other individuals about how to get rid of debt, just the foundation of wealth. Because I feel like if you don't know how to keep your money, how are you gonna handle it once you grow it, you know? So I started doing that venture, and the thing that I've been having a challenge with is I know organization is key, but sometimes I can feel overwhelmed because it's two different businesses, different things. I know it's the same business because it's network marketing, but the part that I'm having a challenge with is just how to organize myself and give enough time to each one and every other thing that I do.
So let's make it real. We can come up with a complicated answer or a simple one. Which one do you want?
I want simple.
In this moment, you get to choose joy or misery.
Okay. I knew the answer. I don't know. I knew he was going to say that.
That's it. When you're in that, because the problem is when you're here and over there, you're not even here. And when you're here, there and over here, and you're not in this moment, you get to choose joy or misery. That's it.
Wow. Okay, and you know that it's amazing that you say that. I was on Instagram and I watched this motivational video, a clip of it, and it said, people are stuck in betweens. And he said that when people are at work, they want to be home. And when they're at home, they're like, I need to make money. So you're like back and forth fighting with, and wow, that's confirmation right there. Because I'm just getting so many answers today. And it's just, wow, I'm starting this month good. Like, I feel good.
That was my hope, is to get everybody started on the right foot. Now, whether you fall off or twist an ankle or whatever, that's up to you, but get started on the right foot. In this moment, you choose joy, you choose misery. That's it. It doesn't get any more simple than that, but we make it as complicated as that. Awesome. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you.
So there you go, folks. Ahas happen all around. They're there for you at any moment. So here's what I'd ask you to take away from today. The 3 questions. So every night when I go to bed, my journaling is what I do well, what could I have done better, and what talent, skill, or contact do I need to come into my life tomorrow? Because all too often we don't say what we do well enough. I was having a conversation. Where was I? I was having a conversation with somebody, and we were talking about the things they do well. And they said, I've never actually thought about the things I do well. And I'm like, wow, what a mindset. What I did well, what could I do better? Not what did I do wrong? What could I do better? And number 3, what talent, skill, or contact do I need to have come into my life tomorrow? What talent do I need to get better at? What skill set do I need to learn? Or what contact do I need to have show up in my world? And Leo, you got a question. Was that what the question was about the questions, or was there something else?
Oh no, something else. Good morning.
Good morning, Leo.
Good morning, everybody. Love our Misfit community. I've really got a little bit more understanding of how I have been for the past day or so. So yesterday I hosted a monthly salsa event. and it was our anniversary party. Bunch of emotions, bunch of frustrations. For some reason, I was very frustrated yesterday, and I didn't verbally attack my dance partner, but for her, I made her feel small because she wasn't ready at the time I told everyone to be ready by, because I do like a little powwow with all the performers before they get on stage, just spread and share good energy. And being that she wasn't ready, I go and I'm like, all right, everybody, we have to wait for Eliani. And being that I said that, she felt that I made her feel super small. Now, I didn't see it in that moment because I'm being just very rational, like, okay, we were supposed to be together by a certain time and we're not because one person is not ready. That one person happens to be you. And not that I said it that way, but that's just what was so. Then she didn't communicate anything to me until later that night. Then I'm on the mic, I'm emceeing, I'm hosting. And one of the communities, like I would say one of the communities, like top dancers, the people look up to her. As I'm speaking on the mic, she's interrupting me and trying to tell me more about updates of other events that are happening in March. When she says that, my annoyance got up again. And I said, all right, Magna, we've heard enough of you. And I am, you guys kind of already know me. Everyone was so shocked that this gentle giant shut someone down in front of 150 people. Then right after I was done with the mic, Magna came up to me, and she's never has been super emotional to me, but she showed her emotion to me and she told me how I made her feel small. So these are two women in my life that I don't know where my frustration came from until later. Of course, I did a self-analysis that I spoke to like that. Then I did my self-reflection, and I really got annoyed because my frustration comes from not being able to fulfill on what I really want to fulfill on. And, that's come to my business, where there's so much going on that I haven't been able to fulfill what I really want to fulfill in my business, in my network marketing business. And that frustration has come up in little ways. That annoyance has come up in little ways, such as in how I spoke to two very important people in my life. And hearing Angie and hearing the light bulb that went off for her, hearing that and hearing what's been going on in this morning's conversation, I've had a light bulb. And and especially with what Rhonda has said, I think the light bulb is that I have been super frustrated and annoyed lately because I haven't been actively building my business, and it's coming into other little ways in how I've been speaking to people. And I don't know if that is if that has any relevance, but it's just what I'm reflecting right now. And I woke up this morning. I want change, and I want to inspire, and I want to move into better light. But yeah, I noticed that my frustration came out. I get it was in the moment and in an event that I was hosting and all this other stuff. But because of, this past weekend was a convention for my company, I was unable to go to just through personal reasons. All of that boiled up. And in the moment that I got triggered, I came off like a rabid dog. I guess my question to you is, Sean, being that I have this awareness, what would be the next best step? I apologize, I did all these different things, but what would be the next best step for someone that has these frustrations and not sure how to be able to rid themselves of it, or maybe the best foot forward to get rid of it?
So
that makes sense.
Sure, makes perfect sense. The question, so if you were my student, and you're not, but if you were, I'd ask you this. Do you want to get rid of this? How fast do you want to stop telling this old story?
Now, right now.
So what would be the new story? Because the mind doesn't operate in a vacuum. It'll always fill it. You'll still have 70,000 thoughts until you get into meditation at a higher level. So say you're going to have 60,000 thoughts today, and 20,000 of them was that you're being a dick. This is you and me talking, right? If you were my student, I'd talk to you like this, but if you're not, I'd never say this to you. So
I'm your student. You could talk to me like that.
I
Sure.
know that, but you're being a jackass, and you had to have a little bit of a Latino authority. So okay, so you did that. It's over. How long do you want to own on to that story? Because this isn't the first time something like this has happened. I'm guessing.
No.
Yeah. First time I've heard it, but patterns are funny things.
Yes.
So now
They
it's
recycle
the new story.
themselves.
So what's the new story? So here's a way you could find out. Ask people around you, if you were to use one word to describe me, what's the word you'd want to use to describe? What would be the word you'd use to describe me? Because it ain't about how you think, it's how other people see you. You think you're all of this, you think you're all of that, but when you go, oh my God, I can't believe they see me that way. So that'd be one of the first things I do is find out. I'd ask people in social media, if you were to use one word to describe me, what would you use? And you'll see that based upon the circle that they are, right? We have our circles of influence. We have our real tight circle, those outside friends, and then those people who are acquaintances and those people who know you, but you don't know them. They all have different words for you. You got to determine which word is going to be the most important word for you, because we can always go to our pets, right? I ask every one of you on here to give me a testimonial, and they'll all be different. Because you're getting a testimonial because you see an hour of me a day. You ask Rhonda Bird Parker for a testimonial from me. If I ask her for a testimonial, it's going to be completely different.
Right.
So my question to you is, when is it time to change? When is it time to step into the role that you know you're capable of?
Right now.
Okay.
Right now.
You realize how hard that's going to be to rewire, right?
Yes. I think that's why I took a big breath.
Yeah, exactly. So to rewire this, so who's going to have enough strength to help you rewire that?
It's going to have to be me.
And not a chance, because look how it's worked so far. That's been a pretty shitty result.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I love
Yes,
you.
sir.
You know I love you, but I'm not going to let you off the hook.
Please
Everybody
don't.
says it's up to me. Well, if it was up to you, you'd be doing it, damn it. You have to have a mentor. And I know there's somebody in your life that if you made a decision to let them influence you and hold you accountable, it'd be done in a heartbeat. Your mom. Yeah, go ahead and screw her over. I dare you.
Oh man, my mom. No.
Yeah.
Never.
So be the man that she wants you to be. And part of it is everything that's happened up until this point is acceptable. Maybe at the moment it was, but it got you here. It got you to this moment. It got you to 8:54 in the morning, your time, 7:54 my time. Now the question is will you give up that old story? Will you give up what got you here? Here's the challenge. Most people, they just decide to make it difficult. What got you here can't get you out of here. The success you had sitting at that table yesterday, if you did the exact same thing from this moment forward that you did yesterday, you would fail miserably, because nothing else in the world is the same. The second you walked out of the environment called your home, everything's different. If you walk down the street the exact same way you walked down the street yesterday, might you have bumped into people?
Yeah.
Can you get in the exact same car from the exact same spot that it was yesterday and go the exact same path and drive the exact same way? Nothing is the same.
No.
And so, but we're trying to use yesterday's success to get us to tomorrow's future.
Let me write that one down.
Every time somebody shows up at your dance hall, do you teach them what you remind them? You got to go over it again and again and again and again and again, but you don't teach them the same way you taught them on Tuesday. You got to teach them Monday's lesson. And when they show up tomorrow, you got to teach them Tuesday's lesson. The problem is we don't do our own lesson. We don't advance our own lesson training. Every one of you have more information in your head to get your butt in gear than anybody I know. How do I know that? Because you've been sitting with me for 375 freaking episodes. You got
But
enough.
Sean,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry,
Ask.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Sorry,
no,
didn't mean to interrupt. I guess also I want to ask, how do you make that switch? You know, for me, I don't know if it's the switch. It's just the consistency.
You have a choice. In this moment, you choose joy or misery.
Valid.
I don't know why we keep making it complicated.
Mm.
In the Bible, it says, choose life, choose death. And then he's got to tell us, choose life? How stupid, we're made in his, listen, if we're made in his liking and everything like him and he's like us and we're like him and everything we do is like him and we've got all the ability and capacity, even the least amongst you can do this and more. Why does he need to be reminded? Because if we're made like him, he said it before we ever said it, before we even heard it. Why did he need to be reminded? I said before, in power of life and death is in your words. Did you happen to do that? Go ahead.
Can I add to this?
Yeah.
Oh, so Leo, this is what I wrote down. The first question I asked you. Hi, my sweet Latin man. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Day we meet. Man, you better get ready for that hug. It'll be an East Texas hug around your neck, boy.
I can't wait. Right here.
I know.
Right here.
So here's the first question. What or who robs you of seeing value in others, especially in those we love and we respect? So what or who robs you of seeing value in others, especially in those we love and respect? And if you saw someone speak to others or about others the way you do or did these people you love, what would your response to that person be? That's sorry about that. I know. I love you.
No, I needed that. I need that slap.
Because there's times where, y'all, I got one of the best men on the planet as my husband. I mean, one of the best men. And I'll repeat that, Angie. Hang on just a second. And there's times where I will say something to him and it just cuts him, like makes him bleed. Now, he doesn't show that, but I see it. And I have to go out and I have to think to myself, my gosh, if some other woman walked up and spoke to my husband like that, she'd probably meet her maker. Why in the world do I think I can get away with that? And I have to go and sit with myself for a few minutes. And my thing is I have to do some praying. And I have to figure out, if I saw somebody doing that, what would my response be? So every time you're dealing with those beautiful, amazing women that are in your life, your dance partner and the other lady, the other salsa lady you were talking about, if you saw another man speak to them the way you did, or if you were in the audience and you saw them be done the way you did, what would your response to that person be? And then
they would have a piece of my mind.
Yeah. So what, then that goes back to the first question. What or who robs you of seeing values in others, especially in those you love and respect?
I think, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, keep going. Go ahead.
No, it's just coming to me. I think I don't know if it's who, but I definitely know what. I think what's robbing me right now is my own personal joy around me doing how can I word this? What robs me is me not feeling like I'm free. Like, I have so many things going on with my job, my career with dance, and then of course building my business and my relationships, that I feel that I don't have a lot of freedom because my business is not where I want it to be. So therefore I'm lacking. And my lack is coming into how I'm communicating with people. And it's very small. But my lack of how I feel about myself goes into my lack of patience with others.
Yeah. So let me
I don't
ask
know
you
if
a
that makes
question.
sense, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it makes perfect sense. But let me ask you a question. And I did this, and the only reason I asked you is because I'm making myself do this, because
Okay.
I'm totally on your vibe there. I get you. Are you taking at least one day a week to not work?
No. I
Well,
haven't even been able to sleep because it's like after I do my whole day, it's like shit. I haven't, excuse my language, but I haven't even worked on. You know, I'm in IM. I haven't worked on trading. I haven't worked on my contacts. I haven't worked on prospecting because I did 8-hour job a shift. You know, I had to teach for 4 hours, and then I have my relationship. So I'm allowing all these things to get in the way of that.
okay, well,
You know, and
I'm going to send you a video after we get off of this about the importance of taking one day off. And I used to do that. Some people call it a Sabbath. I used to do that. And I got away from doing that. So I was just constantly, and it was like I was a ping pong ball, just going. And I was like, okay, something's got to give. So the other day I had one of those moments, and that's when I talked to Sean, and I ended up with a towel in the yard and me laying on it in the sunshine. And I took a 30-minute nap. And I did that for grounding, so I could ground. But then I also did that to just, and I did it right by the trampoline where my daughter was having her play day with some other girls, so I could hear their giggles and their laughter. And I just went to sleep. But yesterday I did that again. I did nothing with work, to the point that I schedule our altar team. And after church, one of the guys came up to me. He was like, we need to go over the altar team schedule. And he had his computer up. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And he looked at me. I said, I'm not doing any work today, so I can't even look at your computer screen, nor can I answer your questions. And he just looked at me, and I was like, you're going to have to understand that, because you listened to the same thing I listened to 2 weeks ago. So today is my day of no work. And Leo, I've never felt more empowered. And yesterday I got up, I went to church. I enjoyed church, enjoyed the people there. My daughter went to a play date. Me and my husband went out to lunch. We sat and visited. We came back home, curled up on the couch, watched a movie, snuggled, had this great time. And then I went and got a pedicure and came home. I did no work whatsoever. And I feel so much better. And I'm not beating myself up going, oh, that was a whole day I could. No, that was a whole day that I got to just show up in my life, my husband's life, my daughter's life, and my girlfriend's life. So I'm going to tell you that one of the reasons you're starting to get out of control is you've burned the candle at both ends, and now it's in the middle, and you got flames on both sides, and you don't know which one to put out first, because either way it's fixing to burn you.
Yeah.
You've got to take a day, cut out any work, trading, dancing, anything that's work. Just cut it out for one day and regroup, refocus, and just be present. Just be present. Go hug the ones you love. I mean, it sounds crazy, and it sounds like I'm telling you not to be productive, but you'll actually be even more productive because you'll be rejuvenated and you'll find joy. One of the reasons you can't find joy is everywhere you look, there's work. Not your friend Joy. My daughter's like, what's Joy? She's got a little friend named Joy. So see, there's joy right there. But you can't find it because all you've done is surround yourself with work. You have no fun. You have no place to just laugh and giggle.
Yeah.
It's a different concept, and you don't have to agree with me. And no one on here has to agree with me. But I can tell you it works. And my husband
it's a new coat. It's a new coat. and I want to wear it. I want to try it on, see how it fits. And I feel like I do that because I do, you know, do dance. I'm able to enjoy it, but then even then it's work, you know?
It is.
So you're right. I have to take that time. And it's so great that you say that, because my girlfriend tells me all the time, you know, baby, you need to rest. And I'm like, no, I need to learn. I need to sacrifice sleep right now because I need to learn this strategy that can eventually get me out of my job so we can have more time together. And then that's my logic behind it. And then I'm here, you know, at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. No, I have to wake up in 3 or 4 hours. And in the 3 or 4 hours I wake up, I'm burned out. And
So I think
it's like,
I think you answered the first question. The
Mm.
first question was who or what robs you of seeing value in others? I think you just answered it. Part of it is you. Now, it sucks that that's the answer, but that was the answer for me.
wow.
I was robbing myself of seeing the value in my daughter and my husband because I was going. I got to do this. I need to help him get his retirement, and I need to get a new car. And oh my gosh, how selfish can we be? When we have these amazing people who are basically begging for our time because we're that valuable to them. And we give them the Heisman Trophy hand, you know, the stiff arm. And we're like, no, I'm doing what's best for us. No, you're doing what's best for you.
So Leo, I'm going to put the guy's mind.
Does that
back
make sense?
here a little bit.
It does, Rhonda. Thank you.
You know how much I love you, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Okay,
yes.
And what I just said is kind of smacks you around in the face a little bit, but
was just gonna say that.
It's because,
don't worry, Christian, we need those slaps, man. We need especially when it comes from Rhonda.
Well, and the difference is you try to smack an East Texas woman back, you might get shot. So y'all got to be on your best behavior.
I love you, Rhonda. I just want to say that. I don't want to get shot.
I love you too, but I'm going to encourage you. I think you're going to find all the answers inside if you'll just go sit down and shut up and be quiet for a little while for a day and do some fun. Go snuggle up to that amazing woman that you want in your life the rest of your life. And remember what it feels like that her hand is in your hand. What does her hand feel like? Does she have long fingernails? Are they painted? Is her hand soft? Does she have calluses? What does she look like whenever she sighs because you made a funny joke? You know, what does she look like when you give her the eyebrow waves or the wink or the little half smile? How does she respond? Do her shoulders drop? Does she wrinkle up? You know, what is she? And you're missing all those moments. And if someone else were to get all those moments, how jealous would you be of them?
Super.
So take them for yourself. She wants to give them to you. It's just a thought. I'd love to hear what happens if you do, because it's going to help encourage me, because I'm doing the same thing with you. I'm walking down the same path. I'm just inviting you to go with me. Maybe I need company. Maybe that's what it is.
The results are amazing.
Christian can attest to that. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, Rhonda. I appreciate that.
So in your world, when are you going to start that?
Now, right now. I'm going to go, give me a second. I'm going to go kiss my girlfriend in the forehead while she's in the bed and just experience and enjoy this moment.
Yeah, go do that. We'll be here. We'll be talking.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead. You got a question.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Sean?
Good. Are you in Europe?
No, I'm not. I wish, but not. I'm feeling some type of way with the conversation that just happened. Because I feel like that's been my whole life ever since I started network marketing. Like I was working full time, and I was like overworking myself, if that makes sense. Like I was sleeping like 3 hours a day. I wasn't getting, like, I was sleeping, but I wasn't getting rest. So it just got to a point where I had, like, my eyes were like shutting on me, like, you know, randomly throughout the day. But anyway, so I was just really tired. And that's when I realized that I was doing something wrong, you know, like the advice that I was getting was work, and eventually it'll pay out, right? But I just felt like I was working, and nothing was happening, right? So that's when I started kind of like, God just gave me the realization that I needed to work on myself and like my story and what I was projecting to, you know, prospects and just to life in general. And sorry, I was getting ready. And so I knew that it wasn't all about work. It was more of, okay, I need to work on me, right? So I guess I hear, and I say all of this because I do have a question. I hear what Rhonda is saying, because sometimes, you know, I also feel like, okay, I need to rest. I need a day off. You know, I need to be okay. But then my question would be like, why do we make it so complicated? Why can't I just like, even when I'm working, why can't I just choose joy and do it joyful and just like, why does it feel like when I'm working, I'm not choosing joy, if that makes sense?
Makes perfect sense. And you know the answer because you don't choose joy. As complicated as that statement means. Leo was going to say, I'm going to go kiss my bride. I said, good, go do it. Oh, now? Yeah, go do it now. And he went and did it. In this moment, right now, what story are you telling yourself that's keeping you out of joy? You know, I hear people say all the time, I got exhausted. If anybody's paid attention to Bob Proctor at all, ever, he talks about how much energy is in everybody's body. There's enough energy in your body, Laura. You live in where? New York?
North Carolina. North
Carolina. So near Raleigh?
Yes.
Okay. Do you realize there's enough energy in your body to run the city of Raleigh, North Carolina for a week?
Wow.
And so and I call it BS. You can figure out which one it is. I call it belief system. When you say you're tired, guess what the body has to do? Get tired. We talk about, I'm going to go off on a rant here. When you have these people who tell you, write your I am statements. I am rich. I am this. I am this. I am this. I am this. Has anybody ever said, I am full of energy? Has anybody ever said, I smile more today than I did yesterday? We talk about all of these goals. They put in your mind all of these things they want you to be because they're trying to teach you how to set goal setting. And 98% of people suck at goal setting because they never reach them. You know what life is supposed to be? Get a freaking blanket and lay down next to the gosh dang trampoline so you can hear the kids laugh. Success is supposed to be get off your ass and go give your bride a kiss. Go give that soul a kiss who's laying in the bed. Success is, I want to see Laura smile, the smile that is inside that girl. No, we're almost there. We're not even there yet. We're getting closer to it now. That's the smile I want to see. When I talk about how I create wealth inside of people, it's that smile. See, even that smile just left you already. Now it's going to come back because I'm talking about it. See how fast it goes away? See how fast life can get back in? If you were enjoying every moment, wouldn't you be like this every single moment? Wouldn't you walk up to people and go, how are you? Now we have to do it in such a way that we don't freak people the hell out. So we show up and we put our arm around them. We touch them on their forearm and we say, good afternoon. If we start to fall back in love with us, There is not a single teaching that you need to learn. When you fall back in love with you, do you think, well, let me ask you this. Do you think the creator doesn't like themselves? Do you think Jesus is going, man, I suck at this. Oh my God, this walking on water shit. Oh my gosh. No, it's because he had 100% faith in his Father. And to get people to say, get out of the boat, Peter, get out of the boat, get out of the boat, get out of the boat, get out of the boat. I said, get out of the boat. I'm asking you to get out of the boat. Get out of this boat, this thing you call your life. It's killing you. For the most part of it. Where'd the smile go? Where'd my Laura smile go?
I'm happy. I'm happy.
I know it's happy, but let it be.
I choose joy.
Let it be. Don't put it away. Don't put it back in your pocket. Let it be. Could you imagine how easy it is? Listen, I promise you, Leo may be pissed off sideways, upside down, and 10 Tuesdays of sideways pissed offness. But when somebody steps on that dance floor, ooh, baby. It's his environment. Here's what I want. Here's what I hope you get. Here's why I've been doing these calls 375 times. Here's why I hope you do it. The environment you're in right now is the only place you could be. Choose joy or choose misery. I have to get on a plane to go to Costa Rica. I don't want to leave my family, but I love to get on a plane. And when I'm on the plane, I am the best plane rider that there ever existed. And I'm the best ticket stander that ever existed. And when I talk to the ticket agent, I'm the best ticket agent talker in the world. Nobody can ever be better than me. When I'm in that moment, when I'm handing my luggage to TSA, I am the best hander of luggage in the world. And you all wonder, how does he do it? Because I do it everywhere. I'm not always perfect. But I'm better than most people's above average. Why? Because it's so dang easy. Think about who I have to compete with. I have to compete with people who are agitated, aggravated, frustrated, and not in the moment. All I have to do is stay in the moment and I'm in joy. And I just watch these people who are never in the moment. And when I bring them to the moment, they smile like Laura does. See, we almost got the full smile. We're getting closer. There it is. That's a joy moment. When you see RBP all of a sudden lean back and her hands go up and all you see is that big old white smile. And you see Leo laughing, you hear Christian laughing, you watch Shay Marie down there in Puerto Rico, you watch her put a giggle on. Why do we make life so tough? Nobody wants to join us in business. They want to be around us if it's freaking fun.
Word.
Yeah.
Sean, I found it so much easier. Just being happy and forgetting about the worrisomes and the anxiety and everything and depression, the past and the future. I'm living the moment, and I've found much more growth just being happy. Just being happy.
There ain't nothing else. And the challenge is that once you start to get happy, you got all these people pulling you back down going, listen, that's why I'm this nut job. And everybody knows, oh, if Sean's coming, okay, everybody buckle up. I'm just being me. Just show up as the best you possible. I'm not here to calculate. Now, you want to have a tough conversation about business and you want to argue with me about business? You're right, I'm rich. Let's move on. You'll get that side of me. Some of you have heard that conversation. If you're going to put your life in my hands to help you get out of your story, that we change roles a little bit. This becomes real serious because you're going to make these changes now. Not tomorrow, not 30 days from now, not 15 days from now, not 90 days from now. I never had a 90-day plan. I got a 9-minute plan, and you better get your ass on board. Because here's my job. I can either help you or not, and I can say no. It's that simple. You are not going to take away my joy. You can't take away my joy. And if you're going to argue with me, listen, what's that phrase? Don't argue with an idiot. They bring you down to their level and beat you with their experience. I'm done with that. You know what? You're right. I'm rich. Let's move on. Laura, you are this amazingly beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, brilliant-minded, amazing soul in life. How could you know how many people would wish they could be you? With all of your challenges, all of your trials, all of your tribulations, everything you've gone through, do you think there's people that would go, "Oh my God, that'd be so good to be Laura. Oh man, I would give, oh man, to have that sexy smile, to have that little mole right there. Woo! Yeah, baby. We have a saying, Manny, in Ireland, it may the best of your yesterdays be the worst of your tomorrows. Laura, how you feeling?
Oof. I want to cry.
Okay, do it, because that's what you need to seed. That's what you need to water this new story that's you're revealing. It's okay. I love you when you cry. It doesn't make you weak at all. You know that. Now, if you're like business, right, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, what the hell's Laura doing?"
No, I know. Now, when I go into a meeting, I'll be crying. No, I feel, oh, Sean, you helped me awaken what I already knew that was inside of me, because I kid you not. And that's why this call, like when you were talking, Rhonda, I was like, oh, this is what I've been trying to do. But then like when you have people like tell you like, no, work. And then it's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And so ever since, I was going through that transition of, no, I know that there is something else. The live in the now, it's more important than the work. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work. I'm saying that it's the way you work. I could be sitting at a coffee shop smiling, and I want to feel like that is, like, I want my subconscious to know that is me working in my business as well. That is me projecting who I am. And because I know that I'll be fine in the future, I know that right there is not wasting time. It's me being me, like doing less, being more. Like I it's so funny, Sean, because I feel like that's what I wanted my life to be for so long. But until like I found you, that has helped me in this calls. It has helped me awaken that, So I'm just so grateful. Man, I'm just so happy. Like literally, that's what I feel. I feel happy. I feel like like the answer was always inside of me. It's just hearing someone say it. It's a confirmation. It's I guess it's that validation that sometimes we seek from others, that just like, yeah, it's okay. Like you're doing a good job. So I just I feel so happy.
Well, and you got to be careful where you get your praises from. Right? What is the intent behind that praise? Right? Listen, if I was the 54-year-old, white guy that's like, oh God, I'm not talking to him. He's like trying to pick me up. Right? All of this stuff wouldn't mean anything, but it's because I love you. I know that you're capable. And here's the thing. I want to just take your heads off and I want to pour this in. Everything you do is your business. When you go home, you're still at work. You bring your work with you. You bring your skills, your talents, and you get better at home, and you come back to work and you do your work better. And when you leave work and you go to do your network marketing, you're using your skills and talents you learned at work and you learned it from your family. Your whole life is a business, and it's this business of being in joy. How joyful can you get? That's the business we're in.
So, Laura, I love you. I love you. I love that you're giving yourself this moment. Understand what I mean by that statement. You're giving yourself this moment. Sean's just helping your brain get there, but you're giving yourself this moment. Everything you need in that beautiful, amazing mind of yours and that heart of yours. And I want one thing that that stood out to me that I think I could caution you on where I got hung up and sometimes can still get hung up is, girl, don't nobody want another job. So your side gig is just a side gig. It ain't a job. Quit calling it a job. Quit calling it work. It is something you get to do that you happen to enjoy that will eventually have a nice payoff to it. No one wants another job. So your language around that, change how you talk about that, and it'll have a total different feeling. Because if there's anybody on this call who gets frustrated about lack of growth in a business, it's the girl talking right now. And so these are the reason I can say this to you is because I have the same conversation. But the day that I let myself be in control and I took that day off and I was able to lay on the earth, cry, laugh with the kids, everything, that was the day of freedom for me. And I'm addicted to that now. So that's why I gave myself another one yesterday. So I'm gonna give myself one a week, and you deserve that. And you're in control of that. And you don't have to let anybody else be in control of that. And smile that beautiful smile. Everything Sean told you is right on point. Like, he's on point. And as it sinks in and it gets down into your heart and into your bones and into your muscles, everything's gonna change. But you are so amazing. And you are so loved beyond measure. And when you show that, that's when you're so attractive. And so when you feel that slipping away, go take some time. And you just needed someone to give you permission. So Sean gave you permission.
I gave myself permission. Today I choose.
There you go.
That. And
there
it's
you
crazy
go.
because I'm going hiking today, and I needed it. I was like I'm going hiking right after this, and I was like, I need this. I want to feel the earth, and then this call happens. So there you go.
That's awesome. Well, find you a big rock or something on that path and just sit on it, because your tennis shoes will probably have rubber soles, and that keeps you from being in contact with the earth. So at some point in time, either go barefooted or sit on a rock or sit on the ground, because I'm gonna guess you're not wearing rubber pants or nothing. And it'll help you to be in contact with the earth. And there's something about 15 minutes of contact with the earth and your body that will reset you. And you'll just be in God's creation, and you'll be able to relax. And what's beautiful is it's designed to suck all that negative out. And as you're sucking that negative out, breathe in all that fresh air and the sunshine and enjoy being alive. You're healthy, you're alive, your heart is beating, you're on this side of heaven. That means you have unlimited potential, unlimited joy, unlimited happiness. Choose life, and then speak it over you. As you're sitting there on the earth, speak it out loud. I choose to live life to the fullest today. I'm choosing to sit here and enjoy this moment. And it's amazing when you say it out loud, the vibration that puts around you, not in your head, out loud, the vibration that goes around you. And it'll make you even more happy, if you can say that. Is it happier? Happier, not more happy. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all get it. It's East Texas style. We get it. So I love you.
I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sean, for letting me.
You bet. I love you. Take some pictures of your hike and send them to me.
I will. Thank you.
Yay, look at, now see, there's a smile. We didn't even have to remind her to smile. Look at that. It was right there. I love it. I love it. Choose joy. Angie, you got your hand up, girl. Go Columbia.
Yeah.
See. But I have a question regarding when it comes to like prospecting and like answering. So I just got a message and I don't know how to respond to it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just read it because I really don't know how to respond to it. And it was out of nowhere. Like I've talked to this individual before, but this is just out of nowhere. He goes,
so it was out of nowhere, but it happened since we've been on this call. Did it happen since we've been on this call?
Yeah, it just happened while we've been on the call.
Yeah, it happened since you've had your energy change, right?
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Wow. Wow.
Go ahead. That's the
So he's
clue is, yeah.
he said, one thing I don't like about Forex is that it seems like a pyramid scheme. Honestly, you may be making money, but you're definitely making money for the person above you too. That's something that's not something I'm down with. You didn't create Forex. Is that optimizing? Make money for someone who is doing nothing. Are you an influencer or a promoter? Just curious. Last I checked, slavery was abolished, but nowadays it seems to have taken a different form. I don't know what to say to that.
So what you could say is, you know what? I've had a lot of responses. This is one of the best ones ever. When can we have a conversation?
Okay, so with that, like we have had multiple conversations. I know it takes multiple exposures, but each time, like this one is a hard one. Like he be saying some off the wall thing that I don't even have an answer to. So
choose
like with
joy
that,
or choose misery, choose
joy, that's why I'm laughing.
So you choose joy and you say, man, what an amazing insight. I'd love to hear more. When do you want to talk?
Okay.
That's it. I mean, because you're not, he's already convinced of all of the things that we know once if he crossed over, if he got on the other side of the red velvet rope, if he ever got inside the club, he's never been involved in the profession. He's never been involved in the industry. He's a smart individual. He's used language that shows intelligence.
He's very smart.
It's just maybe misapplied. But it's applied perfectly for him. 100% agree with all of your conversations. I really would love to have a conversation to hear more. And that's it.
That's what I said. He said,
and
okay.
You get to say, because what he's waiting for is he's waiting for a fight.
Okay, I don't want to fight.
No, but he's waiting for a fight. He wants somebody to go to war with him, to go to battle with him. Dude, I love your response. I need to hear more. Where's the fight? There ain't no fight here. But I have enough confidence in what I do to know that what you said is a little bit sideways, but I'd love to hear how you came up with all of that. I'm sorry somebody hurt you.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, and all else fails, one thing that Sean always taught me is if you say a few things that he just said and they just keep at you, the only thing I say to them with a smile is, okay.
Yes.
And then I'm done. And if they say something else, okay. And I'm not patronizing them and I'm not giving up. It's just, I'm not going to fight with you. And every time I've ever done that, the person lays it down. And ultimately they come back later and we chat about it. And one recently was a family member and got me all worked up for a little bit. And I was like, Ryan, luckily Sean was sitting beside me and it reminded me, and he was like, just say, okay. And I went, okay.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. And we don't get sucked into their energy. Stay in your energy, choose joy and walk in forgiveness. And that's where, when I stay there, I'm good. When I don't, I get a little crazy. I get a lot crazy. I'm not going to lie. But sometimes okay is a great answer. With love and a smile.
Yes.
Angie, another thing, I think I heard this, but I don't know if I heard wrong. Did he say Forex is a pyramid scheme?
I think he's talking about like the business comp side.
Oh yeah, because if he said Forex itself is not. The business itself, that's another thing, but he's confused if he said Forex. So that's one thing to think about as well.
Yeah. It's just, no, because also what I realized is before how I talked to Sean and all of you about my language, this is testing me on how to change that.
Mhm.
So like, I saw it as a negative way, but then Sean put in a perspective where it's like, no, just change the story. So now it's like, okay, now I spoke what I need to change, and it's actually happening and testing me at this very moment. So I'm happy about this. I'm grateful that I had this little moment from what I spoke before, like I literally spoke into existence.
And here's the thing. He can't take you out of your business.
Mhm.
There's a darn good chance he probably won't be in your business.
And
but-
that's fine.
And that's perfectly fine. But the question is that somehow through the universe, he connected with you, which means that if we just show up, we might be the person that keeps them from doing stupid stuff.
Mhm.
That's all. Just love them, right? When if Einstein said, I think it was Einstein said, we try to judge everybody's genius, but if we judged a fish by climbing a tree, we would call it an idiot. Just they got to swim in their own pool, right? And for me to swim under the water, I'm an idiot, but I can't breathe water.
Mhm.
So the fish is better than I am? No, he's just good at what he does well.
Got it.
So just use this as a training episode, as boot camp. You just signed up for boot camp with this conversation.
I really did.
And
But I'm ready for the challenge.
so, awesome. Shay Marie, you've got, I think you've got your hand up there in Puerto Rico.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I was I forgot her name. I am so sorry. The person that was just talking.
Laura.
If you need any help regarding how to have this conversation with the person that contact you,
Okay.
I'm here.
Angie.
And yeah, because I get what Rhonda says. I get a little, like, too, because I know my business. I know what we do, or at least I do, is to help people with my best intentions. And more to my Iceland, I believe my Iceland really need this. My people really need this. So everybody that gets like this wrong view of what I'm doing, I get a little cranky about it. And Forrest, it's not a scheme. It's the economy of the countries. So if he's, with good language, like Sean said, he's smart. Well, in a smart way, we can correct him, teach him. That's all.
Cool.
I love you, Shay Marie.
Thank you.
Pretty interesting conversations, and pretty interesting the way the universe brings examples of what we're looking for right in front of us at this moment. This is your business. This is your moment. Choose joy or choose misery. See, I don't have a business. I just live my life. People ask me what I do. I'm working to be a better dad, better husband. What do you do for income? I teach people how to have more fun in this lifetime, not the next. How do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask? Well, what is it? It's a way to have more fun. What do you want to do in your life in the next 30 days to have more fun? I want to do that. When do you want to get started? Right now. Great. Why does it have to be difficult? Nobody, listen, I promise you, anybody that I've enrolled, and I know this sucks and this is stupid, but nobody ever knows the comp plan when they enroll with me. Look at Rhonda shaking her head. How do we get paid? I don't know. We get paid because we talk to people. How much do we get paid? More than most. What's the ingredients? I don't know. I know that in order to bring products to market today in today's society with the internet, you got to have world class just to enter into the market. Try it. 7-day experience. You like it? If it works in 7 days, it'll work in 70. If it doesn't work in 7, don't worry about the other 65, whatever, 3. I don't want to make it tough, because if they got to do it like I do it, oh my God, nobody will ever do it like I do it. But if they can do it like they do it, they can do it. There you go. Let's have a great Monday, everybody. I'm Sean Murphy, founder of Mental Profits. I'll see y'all where? at the next
At
event. You
the
don't
next
tell each other
event.
you love each other.
I love y'all.
Love you, Sean. Love you,
Love
Rhonda.
you.
You guys, love
you
everybody.
guys.
Have a great
Every
day.
single one of
Guys,
you.
have an amazing day.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great day, family.
Love y'all.